Right, I'm going to quickly go over each of the questions for your test, and I won't completely answer, but you guys can, finish it up and answer the question. So for number one, this figure is composed of an isosceles trapezoid and a regular octagon. As you guys can see, it's an isosceles trapezoid and octagon. Octagon has 8 sides. And the question is to find the exterior angle of both of them, so combined together. So I need to know the exterior angle of the trapezoid, and I need to know the exterior angle of the octagon. So I'm trying to draw a straight line. There you go. So one thing we know is trapezoid, this side and this side is parallel to each other, which makes this two angle alternate interior angle. So you know this by itself is 55. But to find the exterior angle here, you have to use exterior angle theorem, which is 360. Exterior angle equals 360 divided by the number of sides. And you already know the number of sides, so divide that. Whatever you get as x, whatever answer you get, add it 55, and add 55 to it, and that would be the answer for number one. All right, number two, the question is each interior angle of a regular polygon is given, so 156 is interior angle, and the question is how many sides does the polygon have? So if you remember from the formula, n equals 360 divided by exterior angle, 1 exterior angle, but what is given here is an interior, so you know interior and exterior always add up to 180. So to find an exterior angle, I will do 180 minus 156. When I subtract 180 minus 156, it gives me the exterior, which I can then put into this 360 divided by the exterior to find the number of sides. So I'm giving you just hints how to solve each problem. I'm not solving it completely. Number three, it says what's the measure of the interior angle of ABC of this regular polygon shown. So I need to know how many sides this figure has. Looks like it's an 8-sided figure, but I need to count it. So I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it has 10-sided. So simply you're going to do each interior angle theorem. Interior, which is 180 n minus 2 divided by n, and n is 10, so replace the n by 10 and you'll be able to find it. Number 4, the question is, in this drawing a regular polygon is covered by a rectangle. The measure of angle A is 144. What's the number of sides of this polygon? Remember, this is similar to what we did in number 2, but instead of, putting it in words, they gave you this angle is 144. So this is 144. So to find the number of sides, I need to know what the exterior angle is. I need to know this x. So remember, number of side, n is 360 divided by the exterior angle, which in this case is x. So to find this x, you have to do 180 minus 144, because this gives you a 180-degree angle. This is linear here. So whatever you get out of here, replace it by this x, then you do 360 divided by not that number, it will give you the number of sides. Right, number 5, the question, a polygon is showing. What is the measure of U? U is right here by itself, and it seems like U and V has the same length. So what I will do is I'll label U to be my x, and also V to be my x. I know this is 90, this is 150, which makes this equals to 150 because they have the same sign, and this is 90. Before I do that, I need to know what would be the sum of an interior angle of this polygon. So sum equals 180, n minus 2. So to find the n, I have to count how many sides I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll do 6 minus, sorry about this, 6 minus 2. And I think this would give me 720. Then I'll have to add up all of it to get it. So I have 290 degrees. So you can either write the whole thing out, 90 plus 90 plus 150 plus 150. So I'm trying to, so we can do 90 plus 90 plus 150 plus 150 plus 2 x's, don't forget, equals 720. Because you have 2 x's, so then you go ahead and solve for x as you go through it. All right, that's number 5. Number 6, if an exterior angle of a regular polygon is 24, what is the measure of the interior angle? One interior, which is, exterior and interior is always 180, right? So this is like kind of, this is 24, so you're looking for this angle, x. So they always add up. This is always going to be straight line, even if mine doesn't look like a straight line. So you have to do 180 minus 24 to find each interior angle. All right, 7, it says what's the measure of one exterior angle of a regular octagon, one exterior angle. So the formula is each exterior angle equals 360 divided by the number of sides. You already know n is 8, so just do that and you can find it. Number 8, the question is to solve for x and y, find x and y. So it's easy, you can do it both ways since you already know how many sides it has, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sided. So for x, you can do 180, 6 minus 2 divided by 6, that's the longer way. I would find y by just doing 360 divided by 6. Then once I know what this is, then subtract it from 180. But either ways, both ways would get you to the right answer. I don't know if this is, 8, then this is 9. Find the measure of an exterior angle of a regular dodecagon. The key is here, dodecagon. I hope you remember it is 12-sided. So each in exterior, 360 divided by n, which is dodecagon 12. All right, number 11. No, number 10, I'm sorry. The opposite side of a window frame are congruent. Which additional piece of information would verify that the frame is a rectangle? Remember, we need to either know that the angles, each angle, which is A, B, C, and D, are 90 degrees, or the diagonals are going to be congruent. So none of it tells you all the 4 angles are going to equal to 90. So the only option you have is going to be the diagonals to be congruent, which is B. I think that's the only one I'm officially answering. Number 11. We'll go over this a little bit more in class if you still have a question. But the question is, what is the value of x and O, right? And M and O, P is a paragraph. So if I kind of connect, it's kind of hard to connect with this because I'm using the slate, not the smartboard. It's giving me a hard time connecting it. So what I will do is I'll find the slope of each side. So I'll just go rise over run. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. The same thing I will do 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. So this would be the point. And the question is, what is x coordinate? And you guys can see the x coordinate and find it. The reason I did it that way because I knew MN and OP are going to be the same slope. Okay. And the next question is number 12. And it says quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. If x is 6, what is the measure of ACD? Right, ACD. So this is what the question is asking. What is this angle? They're not going to be equal with 8x, but these two angles are going to be equal. 4x is going to be the same as this angle because they're alternate interior angle. So you just have to do 4 times 6, and that will give you ACD. And number 13. Okay, 13 is also a parallelogram. This is, this is kind of hard one because they did not give you a number. I need to know what the coordinate of G is. But one thing you need to remember, whatever you pushed this length here, whatever x here is going to be the same as the x that got pushed in from here to here. So here, if I go down, so the length from here to here is the same as the length from here to here. So I know this is B, this is A. So this length is, and the one thing we also know C is the same. The Y is the same as whatever I have here for Y. So I know Y is C definitely here. Okay. And so, and this would be, since it went to the left, whatever this is, which is negative B. So this would be negative BC. So you have to look at the choice they gave you. So you got to pick negative BC, which is A. Right here, the diagonal of a parallelogram BEFG forms an angle with the measure as shown, which is the statement of, which is the measure of BEF. So let me see which one is BEF. BEF. So this is what I'm looking for. And just remember, opposite angles are going to be congruent, but the consecutive angles are going to be supplementary. So knowing that this is 56, I also know that this is going to be 56. That makes this two equal to 180 degrees. So to find E, you do 180 minus those two numbers, and you'll be able to find it. Minus 56 and 44. Alright, 15. I just did 14, so 15 is down here. It's another coordinate question. It says point A, B, C, and D are vertices of a quadrilateral A, B, C, D. Max thinks it's a parallelogram but wants to be sure, so he finds the midpoint of the diagonal. So one thing you need to remember is when you're labeling it, you just have to go in order: A, B, C, and D. So what order pair confirms that max is correct? You have to know that the midpoint of AC. So I'm doing the midpoint from A to C, which is 1 plus negative 2 divided by 2, and 8 plus negative 7 divided by 2. So this would give you negative 1/2, right? And this also gives you, no, if this is positive. Oh, let me erase it. This gives you 1 over 2. So 1 over 2 is what you're going to get. But just make sure you're only doing the midpoint of the diagonals, not the opposite side. Alright, 16. This is an easy one, but the only thing that makes it harder is what the question is asking. The question is asking what is C. Okay, so you have to solve for x first and plug it in. So I know these two angles are going to be congruent to each other because they are opposite. So set them equal to each other. So 6x minus 6 plus 6, I'm sorry, equals to 10x minus 30. So solve for x. Then plug it into B, which is here, this angle, and just subtract it from 180 because these two angles are going to add up to 180 degrees. 17. The same thing we went over it in class. I think majority of you, if you remember, but all you have to do is the midpoint between W and Y, or X and Z. So you add and divide by 2, you add and divide it by 2. Number 18, the same thing we did earlier with the A and B, but this one is pushed out. So I need to know what this is. I already know the Y coordinate of here is 6, so I know this is going to be 6, but this is 8 here, so it got pushed how many I went it this way, so it's going to be 8 plus 4, 8 plus 4, which is 12. So the coordinate for this one would be 12 and 4. Right, 19, another coordinate question, right? A coordinate proof for conjunction. The diagonals of parallelogram bisect each other. So you want it to bisect, that means you have to do the midpoint of the two. It doesn't matter which one you pick. So if I pick OH, so I'll just do 0 plus A plus C divided by 2. That's my x coordinate. And B coordinate is 0 plus B divided by 2. So the midpoint is it's just A plus C divided by 3, because 0 plus anything is the same number. Then it's going to be B divided by 2. That would be the coordinate of the midpoint. So, it looks like it's very lengthy, but that's all you have to do. Number 20, it says the desk was made from the scrape of a plywood shown by the cutting in a straight line from C to E, which measure ensures that the desktop is rectangle. Remember earlier I told you, for it to be a rectangle, the diagonals need to be congruent. So pick the one that shows that the diagonals are congruent. 21, it says A, B, C, D, and D, E, F are both square. So they're both squares. So AC from A to C is 28, which makes, so to make it easier, I'll just, I know the whole thing is 28, so this is 14, and this is 14, because it's a square. What's the perimeter of DEF? D, E, D, E, F. So this is 14, which makes this 14, this is 14, and this is 14, right? DEF is what there's there. DECF. So you have to do 4 times 14 to find it. And the reason I knew it's going to be 14, 14, because diagonals bisect in the square too. Alright, 22 is it's an equilateral triangle. So the minute you know it's an equilateral triangle, you know this angle is going to be 60 degrees. Right? Is triangle sits top of a rectangle. Angle measure 2, find angle measure 2. If angle 1 is 88. So the whole angle is given to be 88. So knowing this is 60, then I know this is going to be 88 minus 60, which gives you 28. So I know this was going to give you 28, which makes this angle equal to 28. And the easy way is, if you remember your exterior angle theorem, this angle 2 is going to be the sum of this 2. Or if you don't remember that, find this angle by using triangle sum, then subtract it from 180 degrees. And I'm sure you guys can do that. And the last question is rectangle LMNO. Represent a park that has walking path LN and MO. LN and MO are the diagonals that intersect at P. The length of PN, so P to N, is 195. And the length of MN here is 360 feet. What is the length of MO? MO, the whole thing. I mean, this is pretty. They gave you 360 for no reason, because knowing PN, I mean, is 195. You know this is 195. You also know that this is going to be 195, and you know this is going to be 195. So there's no question to find MO. That's what they're asking, right? MO. So they're asking for MO. So just add 195 plus 195. I thought they were asking for MO, but now if that was the case, then you have to do A squared, B squared, C squared, but that's not. They're asking for MO. Alright, so that's it. So if you go through this, come with your question for the test, you will be ready. Alright,